let's go to Iowa. Josh, welcome to the Line of Fire.
Hello, Dr. Brown. I just wanted to know if you were ever going to get the chance to write the ebook as a response to Paul Ellis's response to Hypergrace.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that yesterday. Dr. Ellis is one of the ones who was extremely gracious when I asked if I could quote for him more than the fair usage amount. He said absolutely yes. So when he went to write his rebuttal to my book, asked for permission to quote me, I said, of course, absolutely. We've interacted some privately and been quite candid in our differences with one another, and of course, our areas of harmony. I would like to. I owe Rabbi Yisrael Blumenthal some responses to some major things that he's written that go back some years, and that I did say that I wanted to respond to. And I've written many, many pages, but still haven't finished it. Uh, but I'd like to. I'd like to for the sake of truth. I
Right.
was very disappointed in the book. I felt that it really missed a lot of key points and even glossed over uh, serious
Right.
errors that were there in the teaching. That's my own perspective. But I'm also perfectly happy to have people read Hyper Grace and then read Dr. Paul Ellis's response to Hyper Grace, read them side by side with their Bibles and sort things out. So if I never get to write the response, you have his book, you have my book, you have the scriptures, you have the Lord to work these things through. But ultimately, I'd like to. I still do hope to. I started to and never got back to it, but I would like to at some point. I just end up getting so thorough that it gets thicker and bigger and thicker and bigger, and then
Right.
it's unwieldy, it's unhelpful. A quick question: was there anything that he presented? And again, I agree with so much of what he says in other contexts, and have serious differences, and still is. And we've gone back and forth a few times. I've written articles differing with him. He's written responses. So we have a few things we've done. If you just go to my website, askdrbrown.org, askdrbrown.org, and just search for Ellis, then you'll find some of that interaction. But anything he raised in his book that troubled you, or you thought, man, he really damages Dr. Brown's position there, I'd like an explanation.
Yeah, I mean, I read both books, but it was about 2 years ago, so I just got to, refresh my memory on a lot of it. But just one of my main issues was that how well he goes into the difference between let's see, I got the book here. He talks about the he quotes those who are being sanctified.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what verse that is.
In Hebrews 10, yeah.
Yeah, Hebrews 10. And I feel like he goes into the different Greek on that. And I was wondering if you'd be able to speak into that, because I'm not a Greek expert.
Yeah, what I'd encourage, number one, is go back to Hyper Grace, the chapter on holiness and sanctification. I get into that in great length. Okay, so go there. I reference some Hebrew scholars. There's a bit of a technical discussion, in fact, for that purpose. But sadly, Dr. Ellis really skirts the key issues, like 2 Corinthians 7:1, which tells us, let us purify ourselves from everything that contaminates flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God. This is written to believers. Or 1 Thessalonians 4:3, that this is God's will, that you be holy. All right. That in 1 Peter 1:13-18, we're called to be holy. So we agree we're living this out, but he rejects the idea that sanctification is progressive. Pastor Prince teaches it is progressive. So Pastor Prince and I agree with that. But I would say that if you just go back to the verses I cited and then look at how he has to try to rephrase them and retranslate them to make them work, it really falls terribly short. But hopefully one day I will get to write a response. Hey, again, Josh, thank you for taking the time to read both the books, and may we all pursue truth together.